All right. Good morning. Good Monday, I should say.
Yeah,
Not
welcome
necessarily morning.
to the MasterBrews Monday. As you can see in my background, I put the right one today.
That's right.
So we have, as every Monday, we like to have a guest with us, or guests sometimes. And today we are honored to have Willem from, do I just call it PLINFT? Is that the way?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's the way you pronounce it. All right. So, we have someone already very excited.
Yeah,
Nice
Demu's here. Hello, Demu.
here. I don't know if they're excited for for the Monday overall, or just specifically for you and your Solana jacket. But
Yeah, shout out Solana.
yeah. So we will let you introduce yourself. You'll do a better job than we will, and then we'll just get into our typical discussions.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for having me on. My name is Willem. I'm on the team at PLINFT. And basically what we do is we aim to strive what I see and what we see as two of the biggest problems with NFT projects. It's a lot of hype going to mint. And then once you hit mint, you got to execute on your roadmap. And it gets hard to be as engaging with your community and keep your community really energized and drive marketing as you, as a project owner, execute on your roadmap. So what we do is we work with Solana and Ethereum projects and now Terra projects to really energize their communities and drive mass exposure. So for example, last March, we rented out the Times Square billboard and we hosted a number of projects. What we did was we made a tailored production of their NFT on the billboard and really energized in real life event around it, as well as a live stream and like a halftime show around the show. So we were able to get a lot of eyeballs on it. We're able to get the community interacting in real life, virtually, and a number of stuff. So
yeah, here's a little preview of it.
Yeah, so that's really cool. And obviously that worked out well for you.
Yeah, it was a lot to manage, but we made it happen. So that was awesome to see.
Yeah, so we would be safe to assume that it's going to happen again at NFT New York this year.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't think that's much of a stretch to assume. It's pretty factual at this point. And how many projects would you say, have already lined up to be featured in it for this year?
So last event we had about 20 to 30. This event, I think we're looking at the same number. But what's really fun about this event is, these projects get to interact with one another and access their communities for a lot of collaboration. And at the same time, you have NFT NYC going on. The biggest NFT enthusiasts in the world are going to be attending. Yeah, we're super excited about that.
Cool. Yeah. And I guess to give some basics to people out there, so if there's a project listening or a community member of a project, that they want to propose it to, what does it entail? What does it take to get selected, or how do people reach out to you and then get involved, basically?
Yeah, so there is a form on our website. You can go to plinft.xyz. That's the website, and you can directly apply there. One thing about our project is, in Web 2, it costs a lot of money to get on the Times Square billboard. And it's kind of just for global mega brands, right? Mm-hmm. And we don't want to be gatekeepers. So what we want to do is we want to host a big event. We want to fractionalize the Times Square billboard to make it accessible to many projects and, kind of take that Web3 ethos, no gatekeepers, anyone who wants to participate, we're happy to have you.
Yeah, it looks like Mixed by Harlequin would like MB to get on there. So maybe we can find a contact over there that can help us out.
Yeah, if only we knew someone.
Yeah. So maybe we'll have a little news on that later, Mixed by Harlequin. Yeah. But let us get into then. So you guys are actually having a mint of your own NFT, right? Mm-hmm. And that, I want to say the date changed. Is it now on the 16th or is it on the 11th?
So it's kind of by waves. So it's either on the 16th or on the 11th, depending on what project you're coming from.
Okay. And can you explain, what is the purpose of this mint, what it
Yeah.
does for people who mint it, and
So yeah, I'll explain. So what we do is we offer mint passes to different communities. So for example, if you're part of, I'll just throw out a name, just Tasty Bones. They participated last year. You're part of the Tasty Bones community. You would have had the opportunity to mint a PLINFT pass. Minting a PLINFT pass gives you participation in the event. So after you mint this pass, you can pick your favorite NFT from the Tasty Bone community or whatever community you're coming from, and you can actually host it on the Times Square billboard with your own personalized message too. That's going to be displayed for thousands of people to see. It's going to be streamed worldwide. And at the same time, we're going to capture this on the billboard and make a one-of-one commemorative NFT of your NFT being displayed on the billboard and airdrop it to you. So it's a pretty cool experience. It's a little bit of a mouthful. A lot more details on the website. But yeah, if you scroll down a little bit, I believe we have a picture of the commemorative somewhere. Maybe not. But yeah, it's a really cool experience. There's a picture of someone's NFT being displayed on the Times Square billboard. The community members had a great time at the first event. It's really cool to see the community in real life, as well as network with a lot of other communities. And for those that can't make it to Times Square, no worries. We're doing a show of the billboard production, and we're making it a lot of fun. We're having on project owners, and they can talk about their projects. We're bringing on community members to talk about their projects. It's really going to be a lot of fun.
I think you should bring Penguin on. He would love to talk about our projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd be happy to have you.
What is the mint cost going to be for this type of pass? And is it really a one-time use only thing, or are there ongoing perks or future perks?
Yeah, so the mint price, depending on what chain you're coming from, is 0.1 Ethereum or 3 Solana. What it unlocks is, access to the event and access to whitelist for future events. We're currently in the thinkings of, what do we want to do long term with this? Whether that's going to be a PFP or whatnot, we're still thinking, and we would love some feedback from the community of what you guys would want to see.
Awesome. So it sounds like, it's even though you guys did this last year, that was kind of a test the waters, I would say.
Yeah, there's so much that goes into the production. Blessed to have a great team who's really experienced, and we made it happen. And then for this round, we really want to make it big, and then figure out, how can we best serve the community as a whole.
And now that there are more events and in different cities and in different places worldwide, do you guys have plans to expand? Obviously, it wouldn't be a billboard necessarily, but maybe it's a boat in Miami. Maybe it's something else happening at a sporting event in LA. Are there plans to go that route and do more exposure?
100%. NFT LA is on our radar. We really want to go to Asia to do something there. There's a lot of NFT enthusiasts there.
PLINFT.xyz arena.
Yeah. It's such a new space, and there's so many opportunities, and we really want to make it an effort to get as many places as possible. And another idea we're playing with is, while we have this event in New York City, what if there's another area in the world where a lot of people are going to be tuning in from? How can we tailor, a custom event for them to view the event from a specific area?
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, watch parties and things. Yeah.
So I will mention that you guys have been generous enough to grant us some whitelist spots for our community members. So yes, our collections, mixed by Harlequin and others, we will be taking part in this year's event. We will be dropping you guys whitelist spots you can claim if you'd like to, if it's interesting to you what they're doing and getting your own, I guess, the package deal, kind of the commemorative, the access, your specific NFT. I know a lot of our community members love, a couple of theirs individually. The best example of that is probably Heroes and Villains, where we've had, the community have created their own characters, backstories. They've even been published in a comic, NFT comic. So a lot of people definitely have a favorite. And I think this will be something cool for them to get a piece of, even as a souvenir, just seeing their character with their character name, their phrase up on a Times Square billboard. That's, not something everyone can offer or get any day of the week. So yeah, I think there'll be some interest there. We'll let the people obviously decide for themselves, but we will be participating, and we're happy to participate. We love people who try new things. Anyone who knows our company knows we try plenty of new things. So yeah, we like working with people of a similar mindset, and we are planning to be in New York ourselves as well. So we should be the team should be there live and in person, and we'll be looking maybe to do a little something ourselves. See if any of our partners are there, like you guys and others. Definitely see if any of our community members plan to be in town, and then maybe we'll put a little something together.
Yeah, we would love to do that with you as well. Most of the team is locals, so yeah, we got some access to some spaces, and
so we can stay. We can stay with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I actually lived in New York for 4 years, so I'm not a total stranger. I was there from 2013 to 2017.
Awesome.
Yeah. So still know my way around pretty well. Yeah, I guess so. That kind of covers PLINFT. We'll be dropping all the details later, and people can find out more on their own time. Let's ask, since everyone's worried about it, how's the market looking to you?
Not too good. It's kind of fun being in a bear market though, because I haven't experienced it too much before, and it's fun seeing how everything happens, but definitely a little bit scary as well.
Yeah.
But it's a learning experience. That's the way I look at it.
Well, I think what I should learn from and never do is to try to keep liquidity on the side for such moments, because it's awesome time to buy into like blue chip projects or other projects you're just interested in. Like the money, if you compare it to dollars, which a lot of people still do, it just becomes so much cheaper. And these are great investments where they're going to come back. There's going to be another rebound. It's just a matter of time. And yeah, I never do. So whenever there's great opportunities and I see NFTs I might like that are tanking, I'm like, nope, don't have any cash for them.
Yeah, and how many times have we all seen those projects go down? We tell ourselves, oh, it just has to go down a little bit farther, I'll buy in. And then sure enough, a couple of weeks later, it shoots back up.
Yeah. So I don't think it's something where they're going down and they're staying down. Not financial advice, but definitely, everything cycles and they're going to cycle back up. And these are great buying opportunities for people. It's, if you have anything on the side you can buy with. Most of us are just so heavily, invested in having fun and buying stuff on a day-to-day basis that we didn't keep any rainy day funds. But that's just from my side and the people I know. But
Same for sure. Yeah, I would love to. My friend and I are, we joke about it frequently. He'll say, "Oh, go buy Bitcoin today." I'm like, yeah, oh yeah. I just, I already bought my 3 for today, so now it's your turn.
Well, I want to lead that into. I was seeing an interesting discussion somewhere on Twitter. I don't read Twitter too often, but this one popped up, and it was between people discussing play-to-earn games and what happens if the NFT stays, in a bear market and tokens are down and crypto's down. How will they all fare, and will they be crushed? And I thought it was very interesting because I was thinking about that. We have a game for Heroes and Villains, and we have a game for Whelps coming out the demo's coming out very soon, actually.
Awesome.
And I was thinking, you know what? If that ever happened, it actually would not affect us as badly as maybe others, because what we're building are real games, and we can take the game and market and sell it like a traditional video game if we ever had to. The fact that NFTs tie in and it leverages blockchain is awesome, and it's an advantage. but it's not the core of the game, right? Like we built a game that's meant to be a video game, and that's what the number one priority is. So I was just thinking about that, and I found it interesting that, yeah, I don't think we would really get negatively affected if things were in a slow period when we launched, like some of these others are, who really, really tie in purely to the utility, and that is their game. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting, and I don't know how we segued here, but what are your thoughts on the entire like play to earn, play to own kind of space?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I thought you put up a good point. Like, right, the number one priority is making a good, fun game to play. So that I think that remains the same regardless of what market cycle we're in. Um, I'm not too well versed in play to earn games though. I'm not gonna lie. It's something I want
Putting
to
you on the
a lot
spot.
more into. Um, I always see how big of an opportunity is. So once I get a little bit more time on my hands, I'm really gonna dive into that.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Okay. Here we'll really put you on the spot, and
Mhm.
you don't have to be, impartial to all your clients. I'm sure they'll understand. What is your favorite NFT like PFP collection out there? It could be
Um,
based on the work. It could be based on what they've
yeah.
accomplished. It could be anything.
So D Gods has a special place in my heart.
Mhm.
That was one of the first Solana projects I got into, and I just loved it. I told myself I was never going to sell, and the market went terrible. They
Mhm.
kind of halted for a while, and the team kept building, and they took off. So that really has a special place in my heart. How about you guys?
Obviously, I'm biased towards
Yeah.
all of our projects, but that aside, if I look out there, it's usually projects that don't really go anywhere or catch on. So I guess
Mhm.
my advice is if I'm buying it, you should do the opposite and not buy it. But I really do pick the ones I like for the art, or they're going to try an interesting mechanic or something I haven't seen or heard anyone else trying before. So yeah, there's a lot of them that I have in my personal wallet that absolutely have no value, but I love the artwork and I think they're awesome. And I have zero problems keeping them as if I just bought them for the art, which is what they were. Um, if one day something ever comes of them, great. But even then, I don't think I'd sell it because I like them so much. So it really doesn't matter to me if they ever have value or not. Those would be my favorites, and some of them are very horror related. Like, I have one of it's a baby Pinhead from Hellraiser, and
Mhm.
I love that piece. And some pieces are more expensive. Like I have an animated The Crow piece from Mark McKenna, who does our Heroes and Villains series, and that's just because I was a massive fan of The Crow and I was a fan of Mark. And when he put it up and people were bidding on it, I jumped in not to help out his bid price, but because I wanted it. So
Right.
it's yeah, it's a wide range, stuff that's worth nothing and stuff that's worth quite a bit and everything in between. So that'd be my answer. And Penguin?
Yeah, I definitely have a couple. Well, speaking of crows, certainly there's a spot in my heart for Ross Campbell's Crow Folk. Not necessarily a PFP project, but love those crows. And then I think the first NFT I ever bought was actually on the Tezos blockchain or Tezos, or just shortly after I started buying. To the point where the NFT was like, oh, it's going to cost you 3 Tez. And I was like, what the hell's a Tez? How do I get one of those? Um, and those are just really simple. I even forget what the collection's called. Really doing it justice now, but just simple spiral patterns that came in different colors and kind of shimmered depending on how you looked at them. And I just really liked it, and the price was right. I think 3 Tez was $6 or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. This is an easy way to get in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's I don't know. Everyone has their own taste, right? It depends too what you're doing. If you're buying with an intent to make profit and trade quickly, if you're buying to be part of a cool community or a cool project, if you're buying just for the art, like there's a lot of different reasons to buy. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what makes the whole thing fun. Is there's
yeah.
different reasons to buy.
I'm maybe a little slow when it comes to some of this investing stuff, and I didn't even necessarily realize NFTs. That's why I bought a $6 NFT, because I didn't necessarily realize the investing um, component of it, or the potential investing component of it. I was just like, oh, here's some cool artwork that seems to be affordable as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got one of my favorite hockey players, and it was a crypto retro like version of him, and I think I paid like $1. I was like, yeah, this is definitely not an investment, but I'm like, hey, he's a cool little PFP guy to have. And yeah, that series never went anywhere, just like a lot of the early ones. But it's funny because that was really early. That was, I think that collection came out in 2016 or 2017.
Oh, wow.
And it's kind of odd, right? Which ones took off from there and which ones didn't, given they all basically look the same, like basic pixels, your basic, kind of 8-bit or 4-bit art. So,
that's a question I like to ask, especially to people in the space right now. I choose my words carefully. Hopefully, 10 years from now, the NFT market won't just be pixelated whatever. Where do you see the NFT space going in 10 years, or where do you hope it goes?
Yeah, I think that it's radically going to change. I think there definitely will still be the profile pic era. But I think, NFTs are going to have a real use case for businesses. I think it's a great way to reward loyal customers, increase engagement between your client base, and yeah, just create a more intimate experience for a lot of people. Um,
Absolutely.
I think the PFP craze is just way too addicting though to ever go away, right? Like these communities are awesome. They're so fun to be a part of. The volatility is fun. As you said, the art, there's just so many things that go into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're going to see businesses come a lot more into it. And I don't think I think the PFP craze might slow down a little bit, but I think it'll always be there.
well, I think it might slow down among people who have been in it for a while, but the thing is, there will be so much new people coming in, right? New wallets and new holders. So I think they'll all kind of get it. So I think it'll be waves, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the people who have been in it for years, yeah, they might lose interest in it, except for a couple blue chips. But there'll be so many new wallets to the space, they'll more than make up for the people who are kind of shifting their interests. So.
One thing that with PLINFT I get to see is, we get to operate in many different ecosystems. So at first it was just Solana and Ethereum, and now we're doing working with some projects on Terra, and I'm pretty curious to see, what ecosystems rise and, just all of that in the future in the next 10 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Speaking of, I guess, future. So as far as your plans with PLINFT and metaverses, which is everyone's, hot topic buzzword, do you guys plan to emulate what you do in the real world into spaces where, let's say someone set up a virtual Times Square and billboards, would you guys try to do your business model in these metaverses, and then it'd kind of be like a, a mimic of what your real world plans are?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Last one, I had the task of setting up the metaverse, and I never really, operated in the metaverse that much, but it blew my mind. It really did, and I think that space is just going to take off. So yeah, I would love to.
Yeah, there's a game on the Wax blockchain called Immersus, and they're sort of building out realities. So, there's a comic book project on the Wax blockchain, and you can read that comic book as an NFT, or you can actually go into Immersus, into a comic shop, and buy that NFT within the Immersus game itself and read it within the game. And so, yeah, just imagine, going to whatever PLINFT game or association is there, and walking into Times Square in the game and seeing your NFT, and then looking up and you're really in Times Square looking at the same NFT.
Yeah, we always throw out that term, we're early, whatnot. But for the metaverse, like, I just can't wait to see how much that changes in the next 10 years, because we are truly so early in the development of the metaverse. And I'm really curious to see all the innovation and what's being built on there.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So, as far as PLINFT, are you one of the founders, or were you brought on?
Yeah, so it's a funny story. The original founders were all together in the .com bubble, right? So in their early career, they were on a startup, um, and they just had the best time in the world. They saw all the opportunity, and they're like, "All right, the same thing is happening with Web3. There's so much opportunity. You know, we really want to bring the gang back together and build something." So they wanted to, and then they brought me on as like the NFT guy, the young guy who understands the space as well. But it's been a blast working um, with the team. There, a lot of the guys have had a ton of success as entrepreneurs, whether building restaurants, the creativity side of things. So it's just fun bringing together all the skills to come to Web3 now.
Yeah. So, did you know any of them beforehand, or was this your
Oh,
you kind of met them somehow?
so why the in real life stuff will always have a special place in my heart is it's hard networking in discords and stuff. It can definitely be done,
Mhm.
but I met these guys in person and we really hit it off. um we're like, yeah, let's build something together.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, New York is obviously a great city for meeting people
Mhm.
for those type of networking opportunities. Which it's hard for a lot of cities, like people who have, let's say they live in the middle of a rural area, and they have great ideas and great things, but all they can do is talk to people online. I feel like that is something that in the future, maybe the metaverse can help a little bit, getting them more, even though it's not truly real life. It's, it will be a little bit more considered a face to face, perhaps, or more of a hangout for, even for people looking for investments. I can tell you, like, even in a city like Montreal, it's a very poor city if you want to find investors. Where I have friends who are in San Francisco who basically tell you it's literally like movies. You can write an idea on a napkin and take it to a cafe and just talk loudly, and suddenly someone's tapping on your shoulder asking about it, and they want to give you money. So, yeah, there is advantages to being in a city like New York, I imagine, for business and for networking.
100%. Yeah, but I think that's what's so exciting about Web3, about the metaverse is you can really bring together a lot of people with a lot of different backgrounds and make stuff happen. So I'm excited to see how the metaverse will play a role in that and connecting people.
Yeah, I'm half half. Half of me, the futurist half, likes to see new innovation and new things come, and then the other half, using Penguin's little story. Well, I know there will be no more comic book stores you can walk into in real life, and that part makes me sad.
Yeah. Although there's always, I don't know. I'm conflicted on that one. I think especially in a major city, you're always going to be able to find that niche specialty store, but always is a long time, so maybe
I,
not.
I can let you know that, for example, here in my city, no, downtown has been wiped out. There's almost no such thing as a dive bar anymore. There might be a comic shop, sure, but not for long, and they all will be wiped out and replaced. So our dystopian future is upon us,
Here.
and the metaverse will both help and contribute to it, I believe.
To watch Caprica again.
Or Idiocracy is a good example. Have you seen Mike Judge's Idiocracy, Willem?
I have not seen that.
That is something you should probably watch. It's just a comedy.
It's
And
called, I'm gonna write this down.
Idiocracy. I believe it came out in like either really late '90s or very early 2000s.
Yeah, I'll give that a watch.
And seems
Yeah, and
to have predicted.
it predicts things fairly accurately in a the most ridiculous way possible. But more and more, almost all of them have come true or are coming true. So it's a pretty interesting film.
Scary.
But yeah, we're coming up now on our half hour, so we want to thank you, Willem, absolutely, for joining us. We will get people more details today about everything going on as far as the waitlist and the mint, and any points we need to fix up with you guys. We'll make sure Penguin and you can connect on that today. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to mention?
Yeah.
Show?
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me on this. I'm so excited to see all the innovation that comes to the space, and we'll look back on this talk in 10 years and see if we were totally wrong, or if we had a little bit of a sense of we knew what we were talking about. But only time will tell. Yeah, would love to see MasterBrews on the billboard. If you're going to be in NFT NYC, would love to talk in person.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Thanks again,
All right.
Willem. Any fan questions? Let's see if we have anyone asking. We have a lot of cool emojis, but but no, we got to thank you. Have a nice day. So that's a good way to continue onwards with our Monday.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, everyone.
See you next time.